Hello! Not long ago I reviewed this little Q25 car from SNT JustAir, and it came with these goggles, and this in itself was an improved version of the previous Q25 model. This was a little bit slower, didn't work on cockpit. This did. It was a vast improvement, but they've revised it again, this time as a slightly different model. If you look at the box on this one and look at the small print, it says it's the Q25 240 model, and I alluded when I did the review there's a new model coming out. Right. I'm in the midst of something here, Pops. Come on, off you get. Sorry. And it is called the Q25 R27. And aside from a slightly different body, one of the main differences it's got is a removable camera. And you're probably wondering, why is that important? Because certainly you can drive this around and not have this turned on. But if you are going to want to drive it around not in FPV, this is a little bit heavy on the top, so the central gravity is not quite right. So it's possible to go around and do a sharp corner and the whole thing tip over. So the idea of the new model is if you want to take it off, it's basically more agile and nippy without it. So taking all that out of the box, what you get is pretty similar. A couple of differences. These are the goggles, same as before, but where the old ones were sort of branded Diatone and something else there, these are now branded SNT. You get all the normal cables and antennas with that. Get the controller, that hasn't changed. I've got the version with the little holder that takes 3 AAAs, or you can just stick an 18650 in there instead. Charging cables and a key ring for the car, and this is the car itself. Let's get this out of the box because you can't see it in that reflection. This is the new car, quite a different little shape compared to the old one. We've got a little spoiler at the back there, more of a saloon type car. This looks more hatchbacky. And this is the camera, and the camera has got magnets and contacts, and literally you can just drop it on there. You got the camera, take it back off, and you don't, nothing to plug in because it just attaches like that, which is quite nice. So I'm going to charge this guy up and see if there's any other differences between them. Don't think there will be. And then I thought, you know what we got? We've got multiple cars here. We should have a race. Now, you can get that little sort of table mat size and race around that, but it's a little bit small, a little bit restricted. So instead, being a massive child, I built this. If you want to build your own, you will need black paper, paint, and a bit of tape, and just do that. All we need now is someone to race against. Hello, we're very backlit at the moment. We are going to have a race. Sophie over there. Say hello, Sophie.
Hello.
Don't put the throttle. We'll be racing the original but slightly upgraded orange car, and I will be using the new R27 with the detachable camera thing. We should have had a third person here, but what happened? Sophie's boyfriend's ill. He was scared to come and face the racing prowess. Yeah. Sophie has been doing some warm-up laps. They started off very badly. They're getting better. Here's our amazing track. We should be having a kind of a race, maybe a bit of following, that sort of thing, and just see what happens. And we'll try and film it. And we'll be also recording in the DVR, so if Sophie tries to cheat and goes off track, I will know about it. Ready, set, go! Why'd you stop? Stop stopping. Oi, hey, did not stick to the road. Oh, there's a dog in the way.
It's like having a car.
Sophie, did you just cut out the entire track then?
I fell off the bridge. Oh, did you also fall off the bridge?
No, I'm just running you.
Oh.
Go, go. You stopped again. Where'd you go? Oh, she's in front again. I see you cutting corners, dude. Literally looking at you. I should have put the track barriers up. Oh, this footage looks great for the chase, didn't I?
I can't.
Oh, she's off! Winner!
How it's supposed to feel.
So how did you find racing the tiny cars?
Speedy.
Speedy. Scale speed is quite incredible through the FPV goggles because it feels fast. Actual speed, like watching a slug go past. Did you have a favourite? You tried them all.
That one.
This one. This is the new one with the detachable camera, which is about the only difference I could find from the revised one of this, which is why this isn't a review of this, it's more of like, let's go for a race with us two. We didn't have much of a race because I won. I was clearly the better driver, despite youth on your side and recently passing your test. She kept falling off the bridge. Victory for the old people.
It's not really a bridge though, is it?
Sum up back in the office. So there you go, that was our exciting race. I should mention there that every time you saw me, I was recording with my power play, so the recording was slightly better. And where you saw us a Sophie cam in the side, that's with the DVR in the goggles as supplied by the kit. So slightly different recording qualities. Well, all you can say about it really is it's good fun. It's good fun to race cars, but mostly it's good fun if you're FPVing with other people, whether that's flying or driving or doing anything. The big difference, of course, with these little cars is everybody knows how to do it. So you can just pop the goggles on pretty much anybody and they'll understand that that's steering, and it doesn't take too long to figure out, you know, trigger means go, and just have fun with it. It's a shame we couldn't get 3 people. We'd have even liked to get 4 people. Now, you may have noticed that Sophie stopped using this one and went over to the Q33. 2 reasons for that. One of which is I managed to not charge it properly. What I noticed is if you use the enclosed charging cable, it fits in really well. The one I had just here on my desktop, which I plugged in, and then I saw the light was off and I assumed it had finished charging, kind of just fell out a little bit. So my tip there is to use the ones they gave you. So that wasn't fully charged. And then we went over to the Q33. The reason we didn't use the original version of the Q25 before it was revamped in this one, it didn't have quite as much torque. These don't drive on the carpet, and if you could take a run up at the hill you'd get up it, but if you stopped on the hill and wanted to go again, it's like forget it. So we didn't do that because these ones did it. But great news is every time we've seen a revision it gets slightly better, where I think this first one was a bit of a backward step because it wouldn't drive on carpet or it doesn't have the torque. This was really good, and this was even better. The battery on this one, it just kept going. By the time this had run out of battery, the Q33 was completely out, its lights had gone out and everything. This was still happily driving around, which was pretty amazing. So you can't go too wrong really with whichever little car you get, and especially if you get a couple, at least 2, maybe 3. I tried I had 3 cars running, trying the different bands, making sure there was no interference, and that all worked quite well. I've got no reason to think that it wouldn't work fine with 4 cars altogether either. So, but yeah, we had a lot of fun. Maybe if you got a couple of these guys or something similar, you would have a lot of fun. I'd recommend the latest and greatest just because everything seems to be slightly better. I never drove it around really with the camera off because you've seen how it looks pretty slow when you just drive it around. But everything seemed to go slightly better with this one than everything else. So I think every time they're making little incremental gains, even though I couldn't tell you what the exact differences were between these ones apart from the camera, this seemed a little bit better in terms of battery life and stuff like that. Anyway, I hope to be doing some more of that racing, perhaps around Christmas when we have family over and my wife lets me take over a room again. Here's my race course now. All I need to do is put it down and stick it back together again. Thanks to SNT JustAir for sending this over for review. If you want to know more about how it works, just look at the video for this one and I go through in much more detail about it. I'll put a link up here. And of course you can find links to the cars down in the description there. Anyway, I hope that review / epic FPV race with my daughter was useful, and I will catch you next video. Bye for now. Well, you've made it to the end of the video, so thanks once again for watching. If you like what you saw, then please consider subscribing, and if you really like what you saw, then be sure to check out the link to my blog for a variety of ways in which you can help support this channel.